Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. In this week's show, we're going to recap Fight to Win 126 in San Diego, California. We're going to talk a little about the UWW World Grappling Wrestling thing. We are also going to preview ADCC 2019. As always on the show, I'm your host, Maine, with my co-host,
Sleepy Time Tea.
Josh over here, Josh Weinstock, and
Emil.
How you doing, Emil?
I'm doing great. How you doing,
Josh?
guys?
I'm awake.
You're awake. So, yeah. So, we'll get into that in a minute. If you did not see on BJJ Scout this week, Josh got put to sleep in competition.
Yeah, so Grappling Rewind makes, highlight reel on BJJ Scout for the first time ever. Thanks,
Yes,
Josh.
Yeah.
Valhalla Club.
So we're going to talk about this in much, much greater detail at the show outro after the interview we had with the blacksmith from King of the Mat Grappling. That's also on this episode. But let's kick it off with a little bit of news. Literally just before we started recording, it's about 6:30 on Monday, September 23rd. I'm flying out to ADCC on Wednesday, and then I'll be there till Monday. And Joel Gabrielle Mc is out of ADCC.
Throw me in. I'll be a highlight reel.
Jesus.
That's a huge bummer. I had him going deep for sure.
Yeah, he was definitely a front runner. I think him and Buchecha are the guys you got to kind of pick in that division. So I'm wondering who they're going to replace.
We talked about this before, but this is the first time I've closely watched an ADCC for the weeks and months leading up to it. But I feel like there's been a ton of pullouts this particular ADCC.
We're calling them dropouts now.
That's what
pullouts.
she said.
Oh, whatever.
We're calling them. We're calling them dropouts.
Dropouts.
There's been a lot of dropouts this event. Actually, I spoke to Ethan Kullenstein today as well, and basically asked what had happened to him, and he actually suffered a grade 2 MCL tear.
Yeah.
Literally
did
2
you
months
ask
ago.
him how to pronounce his name? Because
What
evidently you got that wrong again. It's Krellenston. Ethan
That's what I
Krellenston.
said.
No, you said Stein.
Krellenston,
But
Mr.
yeah, that's
Krellenston.
a huge bummer. We knew that he was out, but we didn't know what it was from.
He was hoping that it was going to be healed up before ADCC, but he just is not going to be. He's going to be at ADCC. I'm hoping to talk to him and actually hopefully conduct an interview with him at ADCC, but he's not in the event. So that's why. What other names are out? I don't think there's any other since last week, thank God. Oh, no, actually, Catherine Perrette replaces Francilini Nascimento as well in the women's under 60 kilogram division. That's another dropout and change we had this week. I think those are the only major changes that we had this week for ADCC. In other news, let's say, Third Coast Grappling announced their pay-per-view pricing, which is $5 for their qualifier and $15 or $10 for their main event on December 7th, which is Gordon Ryan and Hamelo and some other great matches that we can't talk about yet. Or you can buy the combo package for $10. So that's actually
It's not bad.
that's a good pay-per-view price.
Yeah.
Especially for an event that isn't every single weekend.
Right.
So it's not like, shit, I got to shell out another $10.
And you talk about Hamelo, Vahalla and Gordon Ryan.
And they have history.
They have
before.
history,
Yeah.
and that is ADCC level talent,
Yeah,
right?
they
We
met
saw
at
them last
ADCC.
year. Yeah, exactly. So
Josh was actually watching the match, but we heard that we talked about this beforehand. Josh was actually watching the match as we were doing all the pre-show stuff, talking about what we were going to talk about this week, and that's a good match.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good match.
Yes.
So I'm actually trying to work on flights and other stuff to go down there to actually cover it live. I think Josh is also trying to figure out if you can make it. We're playing with it to see if we can go down and cover it live because it's a really fun card. And if some of the matchups that I've heard rumored to be on there, it's a card we're definitely I want to enjoy previewing.
So what you're saying is I should wear my really fancy clothes if I do go.
I mean, I would appreciate it, Josh. Yes, a higher level of professionalism would be balling.
Have you seen the clothes
I have, Josh.
that I own?
I have seen you, and then the T-shirt and the jersey that you got choked unconscious in.
I have a lot of those.
You do. So in other news, the UAEJJF has partnered with Flo. Somebody texted me.
That was me.
To 2022 or 2020?
It said till 2022.
Thank
I guess
God.
I read it wrong.
Because
Yes,
They want
trying to
some great-
find that on YouTube or something like that. Ooh.
yeah,
Dude, last week we were
not
trying
fun.
to cover it, and they were up, but it was difficult to find. So on Flo, their production was amazing. Super looking forward to being able to cover them on Flo because they put out a really good event.
Say what you want about Flow, but it's kind of nuts that entity with as much resources as UAEJJF, it goes to show you how difficult it is to stream that. And the difference between when they were on Flow previously and when they were doing it themselves was palpable. So
yeah, super happy that we're going to be able to basically cover those those events, again, a lot easier for us because typically there's results up. There's a lot of other stuff that just makes it easier, and they put on some really great events that I want to cover. So that's awesome. Let's see what else we have for news. Kasai Brazil has moved their date. I don't actually have the date listed, but they've moved it. They announced it this week. I think it's in the 6th of December is what I think, or something around there. And no, of course, then you guys know. I like how I'm the date and like time guy. You guys are like...
You're the contact dude.
Yeah.
Tell us when and where to show up, man.
You're like, hey, can you come in and record this? Because you're kind of like, Rain Man when it comes to matches and stuff like that.
I'm like the showrunner for the Grappling Rewind. So,
well, I think you're more than that, but
I mean, editor, showrunner, producer,
guy getting us further than just your basement.
Guy outfitting us with all the equipment.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
guy keeping us on track so we're not just running around.
Man, I try. We've gotten better at it, but it's a process.
We've gotten better at it.
We have gotten better at it. I think the shows, the level of quality and shows we produce now are. You listen to the first show we did.
Speaking of getting on track.
All right, so I think that does it for news. We now have a schedule for ADCC on Friday. They're going to do a big bracket reveal. I think at about in the afternoon. I think 5 p.m. All that stuff's going to happen. They're going to do all the divisions, all the weigh-ins, and then. That's going on. I think that does it for news.
All the weigh-ins, all the things, no brackets. How about, hey, let's not drop any more people first?
Yeah, please.
We're really going into the deep end.
I'm about to go to a shipping warehouse, get a bunch of bubble wrap, and just fucking wrap every goddamn competitor up.
Good. Don't stop training. You're good. You're on weight.
Just chill.
I'm 8 pounds over. I don't care. You're gonna sit in a sauna, and that's it. You're not gonna move. We're gonna carry you to weigh-ins. So I think that does it for news. Let's move on to the recap section of the show.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the recap section of the show, talking about Fight to Win 126 in San Diego. This event paid a total of $32,310 in salaries and commissions and was headlined by Gustavo Batista defeating Felipe Bezerra via decision. I'm going to say where you guys want to start, but we're going to start in the first match.
We're starting from the top there.
So in the Gustavo match, I noticed that he really likes the cradle, wrestling style cradle. I kept seeing him go for it. I was like, what the fuck is he? It's like, is that an arm in guillotine? And then I saw his other arm went behind the fucking leg too, which is a fucking baller. Yeah. It's an awesome grip.
He's a big gorilla person.
Yeah. It was
he's not even huge, but the way he was just I'm gonna ball you up here.
He was fucking snapping him down.
Yeah.
Throwing Felipe around. There was a bunch of really violent not slams in the sense of someone lifting someone up and dropping them, but
super aggressive, knees, takedowns to lift and trying to basically push him over and drive him over and into the mat on the drive.
Am I remembering correctly that Gustavo did the that sweep where you kick the knee out? You have
he was trying it from the butterfly.
Yeah.
Or where it's and I'm a big fan of that.
Didn't he do that? It was at the World Pro, the main one.
Oh, that I don't remember.
Wasn't he?
I think so. The setup was exactly the same with the gi and how he flattened the guy out and pushed him away, and then he was able to push the knee and try to do it almost with the kazushi on the hands with the off balancing.
Push and you tilt them
and it's really impressive when you see a guy
but it's an old school basic sweep.
Oh yeah, but it works at the black belt level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you get a good grip like that, and I fucking love that sweep.
It's basically a scissor sweep variation, but you're just pushing that far side knee, and as they go to base up again, you off balance, you push the knee out, and you rotate over and under them a little bit to over. It's a beautiful sweep, and it works well.
It's great. I love it because it's kind of a more long distance sweep. You don't have to be as up close as you need to be for a scissor.
Yeah.
So Gustavo's able to at least off balance Felipe, and they get into a scramble. But the moment Gustavo gets any grips, he's snapping Felipe down into turtle and dominating that. And so at some point, Gustavo gets a standard seatbelt grip from top turtle, takes the back, and he gets a really nice bow and arrow attempt that I think was the decisive factor in the decision. I think that was a very clear, Felipe is
he was on
fucking shit.
He had the positional and he was defending a choke at that point. It's okay, and this is unless some other offense is put up, that is probably what's going to win the match.
Yep,
and
in
it
this
does.
Rule set. Yep,
and it was dude, really great main event. Oh, let's talk about this card first of all.
Yeah,
this card had I think 21 or 22 black belt matches on it. If you go back and watch the videos about 6 hours and 5 minutes long. You're in black belt matches into them at 2 hours in. 2 hours and 10 minutes in. I think the Joel Tudor match is at 2 hours and 10 minutes in.
So 4 hours of black belt matches.
hours of black belt matches.
Yeah.
23 black belt
23?
matches. 23.
I'm not good at counting. I counted last night, and I counted that wrong.
Yeah, even when we were previewing it, we were like, holy shit.
Like,
this
dude,
is a
San
lot.
Diego always.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 4 or, depending on how you count it, 5 of the biggest camps in the world headquartered in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like, you got Checkmat, you got Atos, you got 10th Planet, you got Humaita is in there, and then you have
Shanji's school. You
Shanji's,
have a
you got
whole lot of
Hermero's there.
stuff.
Like, a bunch of the huge affiliations are headquartered in San Diego.
Which one is
Or
Glover
near it.
School?
Glover's school was
Goodland.
Paragon.
Paragon,
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
Goodland is his
That's
and
Bill Cooper.
Cooper's school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know there was 2 Fight of the Nights on this card?
Yeah, I noticed
I was
that.
just thinking. I was like, wait a
Wait,
second.
what?
Did I overlook
Yeah,
that? You know the Johnny Tama match also got Fight of the Night?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, there's 2 Fight of the Night.
I feel like if you have more than 15 black belt matches,
Yeah.
like
like
You have a majority of a card.
Yeah,
is black
23
belts.
black belt matches, no judo matches. Like, yeah, it's
2 black belt matches, I think.
There are
3.
3.
3 black
Yeah.
belt matches. Like,
Yeah, so
Maybe
it
like
makes total
10.
sense.
an amazing card. Like, if you're prepping for ADCC this week and you're looking from high level jiu-jitsu to watch, like, sit back. This whole card was just awesome. Like, I have, I think, 4 or 5 pages of notes, and we usually cover, like, you know, a couple matches on each card. I'm gonna have to pick through what matches we're gonna cover today on the show.
Yeah.
And with purple and blue belt and kids, that's another 14 matches.
Yeah.
So 17 matches were not black belt. 23 matches,
So
which
well
means
over
40
half.
matches
Yeah.
in total. A majority of them, well over half, were black belt matches.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
So
a great.
Even
card.
if there was no submission, most of these matches were awesome.
yeah, dude, San Diego brings it. Like, San Diego, as far
The
as
crowd was really getting into it.
Oh, yeah, they were.
especially during that.
Oh, yeah, the
Nick Green match?
Ronaldo.
No, the Ronaldo match.
Wait,
Yeah,
Nick
yeah.
Green was the
Ronaldo
ref.
Jr.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, let's get into it and get to that match.
Well, let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
to
now
let's-
you just want to skip past a whole bunch
No,
of
I'm
other
saying
cool shit, Emil.
We should go on. We should
go
pacing.
on to get to that.
Okay.
match.
You should-
Next
next
match,
time just say, "Hurry
who's
up."
the best of the names here? It's not me, for sure. Is it you?
Rafael Dalinha defeats Vincent Colcol by decision.
Guthierry Barbosa defeats Marcio.
Guthierry. See?
Thank you.
Names.
Defeats Marcio Andre by split decision. Baret Yoshida defeats Antonio Lopez by choke from crucifix. Let's
talk about this one, Josh. So FloGrappling and Fight to Win, I think it's mostly Flo, is doing like behind the scenes like match
Behind the match.
like kind of like what Shugyo is doing, where like you're watching the match and then your competitor will talk a little bit about it.
The
And
person that wins is talking
Yeah.
over the video. And granted, not in the Baret Yoshida video, but they were like, you know what deserves to be watched is this awesome fucking crucifix from Baret Yoshida.
Holy shit, yes. Like I'll talk you through the setup and Josh can talk to you about the finish because it is fucking amazing.
So at 5 hours, 24 minutes, and 33 seconds, if you're looking for exactly what we're talking about and the main match footage, that's where it is. But they also have this secondary like footage
If you
that has a
don't
better
want to
angle.
click through,
Right.
there's a 2.5 minute long video
That's
that
also
says
ballin'.
Baret Yoshida destroys his opponent
So
or
ba-
annihilates, something like that.
Basically, Baret is in seated guard, and he takes his feet, pushes Antonio's hips away, and does a tech stand-up. And Antonio responds by shooting for kind of like a single leg, and it's so obvious Baret was baiting this specific reaction. Like, he was
But
so
the thing is, the
prepared
reaction
for
is
this.
not wrong.
No,
It's the
it's-
reaction. It's exactly what you should be doing there
Okay.
with any other guy.
You guys are super stoked,
Okay.
but you totally skipped like the beginning part to the actual setup.
Okay.
Okay.
You like missed
Rewind it back.
You missed the legit starting procedure of this.
Okay.
Baret pulls guard. You're like, okay, shocker. He's playing from guard. He then opens to open guard and starts feet on hips. And he's pushing away and working through.
And I thought Baret was going to do the exact same setup. I thought it was the exact same setup we saw him on last Fight to Win. Last time he won via crucifix. He gets there from the guard. And I was like, oh, he's going to do this exact same really nifty setup that we broke down the last time we broke down a Baret Yoshida match on Fight to Win. And I thought it was the same thing. Then Josh gets to my house and he goes, yo, did you see it? I was like, yeah, it was awesome. And then Josh breaks down even more about why this was such a cool transition.
So he then goes foot on elbow, like looking kind of spider guardish, and shoots that same leg through, which gives him enough space to then reach up and abandon the sleeve grip and go to the belt grip. At this point, you're like, ooh, this is bad. And this is where Yoshida tries to come up all the way. And this is where Angel grabs his leg. And that was the fatal flaw, was letting, well, one, just getting pulled over that far, but grabbing the opposite side leg that was closer to his arms. If he would have grabbed the outside leg, it would have stopped this position and he potentially could have passed from there. But he grabbed the outside leg. Yoshida didn't care that he got put back to his butt because he got the leg in to start the crucifix position.
Right. It was a beautiful setup, and the finish was even better.
And we have two angles of it, too, which is even better. Like, you have the
Right.
actual match footage angle, which is cool. You can see a lot of this. And you have that nice, like, side angle from this 2-minute video.
And you're going to want to watch both
Yeah.
angles if you want to, like, actually appreciate this, because I didn't even catch what Josh catched until
I didn't
he,
either.
like, walked us through it. But it's a stunning finish, but go for it.
And so he launches that through. And one of the things that he does, and it's been shown on, I can't remember. Alexandre Ribeiro, that's his name.
Yeah,
the guy that did the body
with
bag
the body
choke.
bag choke in UAE. BJ Scout has a whole video series that's really cool on like how this guy plays from the crucifix and some other finishing things he does. And a lot of what we're going to talk about is in that video, but it's different.
It's almost actually pretty similar to what they were doing, but he hooks it and he uses, instead of his leg close to the body to control the arm in the crucifix position to get sort of cross body to their, you're vertical to their horizontal or horizontal to their vertical, whatever way you're looking at it. And he uses the outside leg and controls the arm, and the inside leg actually hooks the leg to stop any movement.
It's almost like a grapevine. Like, he
Yeah,
sneaks
but
it in.
it's super sneaky. And like from that position, it's not apparent exactly what he's doing unless you know where he's going to end up at the end.
And it's totally not accidental, because Josh pointed this out, but like, you see Baret actually trying to snake his foot in there for
And that's
that.
the part I
Like-
actually left out in the beginning, and how he finalized that belt grip was he kept shooting that free leg that wasn't on the arm in between Angel's legs, trying to thread himself in there. And he finally got it, and that's when he got the belt grip.
Yeah. And by that point, it's just, you can't
God.
go anywhere. It's
He,
like,
he was completely locked up,
Yeah.
and Baret just took his time and went to the back, and Angel kept, moving, trying to get out,
then
and
you
only
have-
putting himself deeper
You have
into it.
Baret Yoshida, the back crucifix guy,
Yeah.
who I know very few guys that play from back crucifix. If you say back crucifix, the next thing you say is Baret Yoshida. You're
Yeah.
in Baret Yoshida's back in the gi, not even in no gi. Like in no gi, like maybe you're gonna wiggle out, probably not. In the gi, with that friction and with Yoshida on the collars and snaking up, like I've seen very few people be ever able to get out of a locked-in Baret Yoshida back crucifix in
Yep.
that way.
yeah.
And
And so,
if you can find it, though, and it just popped up into my head, if you can find Gamble Dub's breakdown of Baret Yoshida's games, and it's all in like GIFs. It was originally posted, I think, to the Sherdog
It was
forums.
Sherdog Forums, and it's beautiful. And a
But
lot of the
he has,
gifs,
like,
most
this
of the gifs
whole-
are still there, but a lot of them, because it's like
Oh,
so old now,
bad links, yeah.
a lot of the bad links are coming up. But I think there may be an archived version of that study somewhere in like a Google Drive, but I haven't downloaded it in probably like 4 years.
but anyway, it's
really good.
It is a phenomenal finish. The whole thing is like this. The crazy thing is, I'm not even mad that this didn't get submission of the night, because submission of the night's fucking crazy. But this easily could have been submission of the night.
Yeah, amazing match, like amazing transition.
Yeah, just absolute
Holy
masterclass by Baret. So, yeah.
Next
Shall we-
match, we have Joel Tudor defeating Alonzo via armbar. That's at 2 hours and 16 minutes into the match footage. Like, that's how many black belt matches there were. This is Tudor's first time competing, I want to say in like
in a long
4
time.
years.
He even said it in his
His little interview after the fact.
interview afterwards that
He
he
was-
hasn't competed in a while.
Since like Nogi Worlds or Masters World. I thought it was Nogi Worlds like 4 or something years
The last
ago.
time I legitimately remember him competing, other than like some ADCC stuff, was when he submitted Megaton. And like that became like a really, really big deal on the scene. They were like, holy shit, like Joel Tudor just submitted Megaton.
It's funny, they talk about Baret Yoshida flying armbarring Megaton in this card too. Hanger was on commentary with another guy. it was really insightful. Like
Hinger's great.
was really good.
Hinger's got a lot of just good jiu-jitsu
He's
knowledge.
got not like history knowledge too, which is really cool. Like he would sometimes veer off a little bit and talk a little history for a
I'm okay
little
with
longer.
that.
It was good though.
The
Like,
jiu-jitsu nerd in me really
yeah, I
appreciates
appreciate
that.
it. I was listening. I was like, this is like a cool. I would just listen to Hinger, which he has a podcast now. So listen to him talk about jiu-jitsu and history with like for a
I was
long
listening
period of
to
time.
it on the way here.
It's good, yo. His podcast with Mo is amazing. Mo and Seth, both those podcasts he did like the last 2 weeks are amazing.
I loved that Seth interview. I was like, oh, now everybody gets to know what we've known for the past few years now.
Yeah.
Because when we have some old footage that we filmed of everybody. I mean, I still have it on my computer. Like,
Yep.
it's still in like the editing.
One of the first things
software.
we tried to do a bunch of interviews at Fight to Win 70 maybe.
It wasn't the.
It wasn't
the
the
one
first
in Frederick.
that was 53.
So
At
I
Fight
think
to
it
Win
was like 70
I
something.
think 70 because I think it's behind there. There's
Yeah.
a poster for it. Fight to Win 70. We tried to do a bunch of interviews and we basically just bit off more than we could chew. And I have a bunch of athlete interviews and I was like, I don't. And Josh was like, I don't have the editing program to do this right.
Not a good one.
And Lauren had to edit, and then I was like trying to edit the show and do all sorts of stuff. And it was like 3 weeks and 4 weeks later, and I was like,
It wouldn't make sense to release
I
it.
just don't know how to do this at the speed. And so we have a couple like we have Troy interview, we have a Fight to Win, we have a
Troy,
Seth interview,
Brittany,
Missy, we have a bunch
Seth.
of interviews. And Seth gave a hilarious interview that one day I'll edit and I'll find a way to put it out. I'm gonna have
But
to edit
essentially,
it.
like, it's all the same shit that he said on Hinger's podcast, where he was just like, I don't give a fuck, do steroids, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
I forgot about
I
that.
love steroids. I mean, he openly talks about his steroid use. He has no issue with any of that. And I'm like, cool. You know, and he's like, but that's also why I'm falling apart at the age I am, because I did a lot of steroids.
Yeah, he's like, my hands can't grip and stuff like that because like my messes with your ligaments, and it was just like, Jesus, there's some reality.
But
to Seth that I
his
didn't think about.
also, I give absolutely zero shits attitude about what anybody else thinks, because are you doing what I'm doing? No. I mean, we found out when he told me the story about how much money he was making when he was like a Planet Fitness VP.
It was a 24-hour fitness.
Or 24-hour fitness.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, who the fuck is this guy and how can he adopt me? Like, if not, can we just like hang out all the time? Because I guarantee you every single day you could tell me one new story and it would be years before I heard the same story again.
Yeah, so listen to that podcast. It's amazing. With Seth and with Mo, if you're interested in like what
That
we
was
do
also
here at
a
the
really
Grappling
good
Grind,
one.
both of them are really, really great. And we're super off track here, but it's ADCC. We're all super excited to be here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
They're excited.
yeah.
I'm sitting here watching it on a computer
You're
screen.
excited
You're
for
still
ADCC.
gonna have a good
I'm
time.
stoked for it, but if I was them, I mean, I wouldn't be able to wear gym shorts ever.
So back to the Joel Tudor match. He has a really nice topside crucifix armbar, really extended out. Tudor still got it.
This was textbook Carlson Gracie jiu-jitsu. Like, fuck you, pressure,
Dude,
passing.
he hung out in that knee
And
cut
I'm
for a
gonna-
while, and he's just waiting. He's like, I'm just going to get it eventually.
Oh my God, the thing that he did where, you know when you're starting to cut knee cut through and you backstep?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a natural thing and you can kind of backstep right into the knee bar.
It's my favorite knee bar transition. I hit that all the time. I
So
love it.
he backsteps, but not all the way, and just sits
In that half side
in that
position, and you're trying to pull the leg out from the top position,
And
it's such an effective way
I've
to pass.
seen it before, but then I was like, fuck,
He
that's
does
so,
it so well.
good.
It's one of my favorite passes because I shoot for the knee bar. If the guy defends well with the knee bar, I'm so small I can beat him in the hip line and land up high in his hips, control the top of the torso.
I'm not
and just
small,
pull your
and
leg out.
he did it the big guy way.
Yeah, it's
And I
a
was
beautiful
like,
transition.
thank you, 150-pound Joel Tudor, for like blowing my mind right now.
He'll run Royal here probably this next year because Royal runs every other year. Royal Jiu-Jitsu presented by Joel Tudor. It's the weekend after Worlds every other year, and it's that like inter-belt, inter-weight thing.
Wouldn't it?
It was 2 years ago. We didn't cover it this last year. We covered it the year before.
Fuck, so it's in
So it's
2020.
so it's this year.
No, it's not, because Worlds already
I
happened.
mean, it's the next year for Worlds. Is what
so
I mean.
2020.
Yeah. So that'll be awesome. That's always a really cool event. So it's cool to see Joel Tudor. It's cool to cover him for the
Fuck
first
yeah.
time on the show. And really good old school pressure, like just fundamentally
Legit Carlson
sound
Gracie
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu.
So Johnny Souza defeats Chris Neubauer by armbar. Jose Alencar defeats Ricky Nunez by Americano.
The Johnny Souza match was really cool. He basically throws like a flying armbar twice, and on the third time he just goes armbar from the guard, and just textbook beautiful armbar from the guard.
Now, the first of the fight of the nights, Ronaldo Jr. defeating Matheus Luna by split decision.
And this was fight of the night for the black belts. Don't
Fight of the
take
night's
my
number
thing, Emil. This is at
Number
3
one.
hours and 59 minutes into the match. You can watch this.
It's a
footage.
lot of violent takedowns.
Dude, they're just like kicking the shit out of each other. Almost falling out of the ring repeatedly. At one point,
falling out of
Ronaldo
the
like
rings.
shoves Mateo. Yes, they both went out at one point on top of Hinger.
Yep.
And then they were on the opposite side, and Luna gets shoved off the mat completely and has to walk around the crowd and get back in the ring.
Or Ronaldo fucking kicks
at
Matheus.
4 hours and 5 minutes
And the ref
and
has
43
to, like,
seconds.
step in and
no.
start, like-
So
not
was that
ref.
the reason that Seth came down?
I think the reason because so basically Ronaldo kicks Matheus like after he's fallen off me, like kicks him, like gives him a little kick, and I was like, okay, and the ref goes like, hey, and then Seth comes onto the mat and like, dude, that is what it looks like when your dad comes and has a conversation with you. Because I was like, Seth's like, yo, Seth is coming to get involved. And
Yo,
Seth goes,
if you
hey.
look at the video and you just sit there and like, I'm not watching it on an 80-inch screen TV. I'm watching it on like a 15-inch Chromebook,
laptop.
you know? And I know he's big, but he just looks fucking thick.
Yeah, Seth's the thick dude.
Dude, I'm like, that's what my neck looks like, but I'm short and you can't see mine.
Not just thick, like Seth definitely's got a goon thing going
He's
on.
in
Like
he
posing.
looks like he'd be a hockey enforcer.
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
he's got that like
Dude,
that
he's
shoulder
just
look to him.
fucking huge.
And then so Seth comes down and lays the law down and be like, "Hey, you're playing towards the edge of the mat." Well, I don't know what he says.
I don't know. You can barely hear anything. You could hear maybe like the last word of what he says, but he's knowing Seth, he's like, hey, stop fucking around. Like, we're here to grapple. Fucking grapple. Let's have fucking fun. This is a great fucking match. Fuck you. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's honestly probably almost what he said.
That's a direct quote.
That
the
is
corners
what-
were going completely ham.
Both
after this.
Brazilian
Oh my God.
corners were just. I was like, oh, it's so
And
good.
they just fucking went at it again. It's great intensity. Really,
I don't
really
understand
awesome
why you wouldn't watch the entire card. I read so
great.
much stuff on the internet like the past day about, again, people have their issues with flow. Okay, I'm not getting into that. But so many people were like, dude, for fight to win alone, I'd pay for that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, like a lot of weeks we do.
Yeah.
Like that's like
I mean, all three of us have our own FloGrappling accounts.
And I do not mind that at all.
no.
$10
Like-
a month equivalent.
I think it's like I think
13.
I buy the year.
It's like 150 for the year.
$149.99 a year.
Yeah, totally worth it.
So whatever
Or-
whatever
or
math. $29 a month.
$300.
Is that
If you go month
Put
by
down,
month.
yeah, that's my bad.
So this is a great match. It's close. I think Ronaldo does a lot more. Like he's more active in the pressure. He's more active on the takedowns. He's more active like in the entirety of the match. I think that's what gets him the victory here.
It was a great back and forth match.
Oh yeah.
I'm super stoked for the next match. If y'all are good,
Let's move on to the next match.
Hell yeah, bro.
I want to fucking. I'm calling this a rewind recommends. Sergio Rios defeating PJ Barch by armbar.
And that was submission of the night for the black belts. I'm like scared you're gonna say it, and I can't
This
say it.
fucking match. I was hyped for this last week because it's been a while since we've seen PJ Barch.
He's been injured since you were talking about. I think since trials for West Coast trials, he was in the semifinals or
Semifinals.
the quarterfinals. I think it was semifinals, and then he got injured, a knee injury. And I think we talked to Krikorian about it or someone about it at his camp, and he's like, "Yeah, he hurt his knee. He's out for a while." This is the first time we've covered him on the show since that injury, so it's cool to see him come back. Dude looked amazing.
He was on fire. Like he hit an amazing arm drag takedown and did an awesome leap over into side control. PJ got mount. He's
in
back
crucifix.
control. Yeah, he gets crucifix and armbar. And to Antonio's credit, he stayed really fucking calm.
Sergio.
Sorry. You're right, Sergio. I don't know why I have Antonio in there. Yeah, Sergio stays calm, like he turtles up, and yeah, as Maine said, PJ was even attacking a crucifix. So he is attacking Sergio everywhere in every fucking conceivable way. And this is when shit gets fucking buck wild.
So stop, hold on. So you said like a key thing, and if anybody was really paying attention, like I do on the small, tiny little details, you notice that he's a Tellus guy. And going off of this, like PJ attacks the turtle and the crucifix.
Eduardo Tellus, if you don't know, is the guy known for
The turtle master.
The turtle guard.
Well, that and the octopus guard.
That too, but most of the turtle. You think Tellus, you think turtle guard.
Anyway, so I'm watching this and I'm like, no, something's wrong. And when PJ gets that crucifix, and without even hesitating, Sergio stands up, dumps him like a fucking fireman's carry right into the goddamn armbar.
Literally, right. Like, I had to watch this 4 times.
So what happened was PJ was attacking the crucifix, and he has a really great, almost Kimura-style grip on the far arm. It's great control, but it's the Kimura grip can be a liability, right? It's the same reversal that can happen like what Matt Hughes did to GSP when he submitted him. It's possible if you can't control the person that they can spin around and then attack you, and that's exactly what happens.
But he does it from the turtle on a stand-up from
Well,
a
he stood up
fireman.
and dumped him and then grabs it.
In midair.
And most people are like happy that they picked somebody up and they dumped him and they got out of a bad position. This dude could care less about everything that has happened before this and just immediately is on the attack. And has the wherewithal to stay with it and know when to roll with the arm to keep it fully extended the entire time. And props to PJ Barch, because I would have said, let go of me way sooner.
Dude, he's out. He's like, PJ Barch's arm is extended and up and like hyper extended. And I was like, oh, Jesus, Barch. Like, holy shit, you're tough.
But then he got fucking armbarred anyway.
Dude.
This match was why I'm not even mad that Baret Yoshida didn't get submission of the night, because this was fucking bonkers. The match was great.
I mean, that's why it's a
the
rewind
submission was
recommends.
amazing. Yeah,
Like you very rarely hand out rewind recommends.
Yeah, this match is just
that
great.
Makes sense why you do it.
good.
So if you want to watch the basically the crazy armbar rendition, 4 hours, 16 minutes, 24 seconds is when it goes from that dump right to the armbar. Beautiful technique, like amazing like series.
Absolutely.
So anything else on that one?
No.
All right, next match.
We got Gabrielle Mc Comb defeating Tubby Alequin by split decision.
Basically, the knee bar at the end from Mc Comb.
I think that really what sealed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like real
They were
close,
going back and forth.
but there wasn't a whole lot of
of
submission offense, and then McCone kind of locks up that knee bar. Not doesn't lock it up, but like goes for it at the end, and it was like the biggest piece of submission offense, and I think that's what gets it done.
We have Nisar Loinab defeating Nick Green by decision.
This was a really active match from both guys. Like, there was a ton of movement. Nick Green makes the best faces of any guy in Fight to Win during his matches.
And
Also,
if you really-
definitely gets fucking referee of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know who he is, if you ever remember watching Kurt Oceaner's Move of the Week, he was always the dude in the background either making faces or breakdancing. That's him.
Yeah. Black belt under, is he under Half or under Kurt? I think he's with Half still.
I
think
don't
he
remember.
didn't make the move over to Empire. I think he's with Half, but really good. Like, this honestly is a really, really fun match. I was kind of honestly a little surprised this didn't get Fight of the Night, because it's really active. A lot of really good transitional positions, like dueling toe holds.
Dude, you're not getting Fight of the Night over the Ronaldo Jr.
Yeah.
Or the
Fire.
other match. Like, anyway.
It was a good match.
We got Luisa Monteiro defeating Janina Maya by decision.
Lots of 50-50 work, good footlock attempts for both ladies. A little bit more slower paced match, but still good match.
Ryan Orapalo defeats Alfred Barham by decision.
Alfredo.
Wendell De Silva Santos defeats Matthew Palupalele by decision.
Oh, you killed that one.
And that was big men doing big things in my notes.
Bruno
Mundaraka.
Mundaruka defeats Dustin Peak by decision. Joao Pedro Mendez defeats Edward Kang by decision. Jaffarel defeats Ron Henderson by decision. Tyrone Gonçalves defeats Rafael Vasconcelos by decision. Nina Mura defeats Sofia Nordeno by decision. Tim Mendoza defeats Andre Pontes by decision. Philip Fitzpatrick defeats Vinicius Lino by decision. Johnny Tama defeats Kevin Berbrich
By fight of the
By
night.
fight of the night for the black belts, the Redux number 2.
It was a decision.
By decision.
So, yeah, this was fight of the night number 2. Basically, a lot of seated guard from Kevin, inversions, De La Riva, and Johnny has some awesome leaping guard passes attempts.
Really,
that he
really
does.
active there.
But Kevin's regarding was amazing. But I think what ended up putting the decision for Johnny Tama was he had an Estima lock attempt that definitely you saw Kevin withdraw and react to. So
Submissions that require defense is like the biggest criteria for fight to win for scoring.
yep.
So that gets it done.
So last of the black belt matches, Marcus Norat defeats Sergio Hernandez by decision.
On to the brown belt results.
Richard Lopez defeats Darian Corner Dengelis by decision. DeAngelis, thank you. Seymour Lewis II defeats Ivan Herrera by split decision.
And that was fight of the night for the brown belts.
Chris Deal defeats Jason Whitty by decision.
On to the purple belt results.
Eddie Nunzi defeats Alex House by armbar.
And that was submission of the night for the purple belts.
Kellen Conlon defeats Sean Faison by choke. Julie Durson Rodriguez defeats Jeremy Klein by armbar. Chase Matthew Parsons defeats Justin Mask by guillotine. Fernando Estevez defeats Alex Trinidad by split decision.
And that was fight of the night for the purple belts.
Chavador Busquets defeats Gabe Ortiz by bread cutter.
Yeah.
Paulette Celebrado defeats Stephanie Fava by armbar. Morgan Skyberg defeats Matthew Culver by decision. Marco Martinez defeats Nathan Blondin by decision. Nadine Mandiao defeats Jessa Khan by split decision.
Kind of surprised about that. This match we'll go back and watch.
Adam Carcion defeats Alexander Del Rosario by decision.
On to the blue belt and the kids matches.
Zoe Chiles defeats Annie Druckery by armbar.
And that was submission of the night for the blue belts and kids.
Ethan Vossler defeats Dominic Hill by armbar. And Sierra Fawn defeats Carmen Lopez by armbar.
Amazing card. Go back and watch it.
it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I think it's in my eyes one of the best cards I've seen Fight to Win put together in a long time. Like there was so many great matches on it.
Even if you don't really have the time at the moment to go back and watch the entire thing, watch those behind the match things.
Those are
because
really
it condenses a lot of the action and has an overlay of the voices, as well as like the pandemonium at Fight to Win for the Ronaldo match.
Yeah.
So it just goes on and shows all these things that are
well, and like you watching that stuff is like a way to show like that you want more of that content. It's really good content, and
that's
like,
the shit I want to see from Flo going forward.
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff, that kind of behind the scenes stuff. Maine, you better make that shit happen.
I'm trying, man.
Make that shit happen at ADCC.
It reminds me a lot of what we're gonna cover, Shugyo, right?
Yeah.
Like because it gives you that added depth to the matches, to the competitors. You see their strategies, you see their like emotional like hurdles that they have to get through.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. So definitely I definitely love more of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
so.
it's awesome. Great event. That does it. Let's move on to the next one. So let's move on to our recap of Shugyo. Was episode 6. We had Josh Balco versus Mac Ropshop.
Bacalao
versus Max Rockshop, and Ethan Krellenstein versus Keith Krikorian. Where do you guys want to start on this one?
Josh, we'll go in order. Josh Bacalao versus Max Rochkov. The more I see all of the competitors in this, the more I really enjoy them.
Yo, don't let Max darce you.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh, you don't say.
He even said, like, if I get a hold of, like, last episode, he's like, if I get a hold of your head, I'm going to fucking choke you.
A little bit. You're super loud.
Okay.
We're good.
So, and Max is, like, it's interesting to see his different takes on different matches. Like, he approaches each match differently. And this one, he starts off with a flying triangle. And he also does like a crazy. Did you see the 360 fake out low takedown attempt that he did?
Yes.
Just like it's crazy how much he's.
That's when you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No,
And
you're
you're like, I'm
going for the gold.
I'm
Like
gonna
going for the
try to
highlight.
take you down, but it's also going to be awesome.
But what's funny is like it's actually when Max sits guard that he starts to work his game. So Josh pressures in, and Max is able to sweep him and get a head grip.
Yep.
Eventually. Switch
Lock
that
it
over
up,
to a
hand it up,
darce.
darce it, and then just locks it. I was like, okay. So we saw Josh deep in Krikorian's darce, like a bunch of times during their 71-minute match, and I was like, okay, he's really hard to finish. And then you see him like lock and squeeze, and you see Josh kind of go, "Ooh, this is not good." And then like
same,
you see Max continue to lock up, continue, and like, oh, he's still locking up more. Like, this would be real. And honestly, I thought he was going to get out because we saw him get out of Krikorian's Darce like that many times, but they were early in the match.
It was early in the match, and Josh even said the sentence like, I don't feel threatened. Like, he said something to the effect of like, these guillotines and Darces don't work very well on me. And I feel like that's a dangerous mentality as your competition starts to get better and better, because it's like, yeah, okay, those things work against certain people, but some people are now at a higher level of competition and they've been doing this like one submission exclusively,
and that's
like,
their game.
Yeah.
And Max, you saw Max lock it up, and like he locks, and it was like, and he finishes. It was like, it was super impressive because we saw how hard Josh was to Darce in a previous match, and now you have the win over Krellinston,
right?
Like earlier where you put him to sleep with a Darce in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like Max is a dude to watch with the choke.
Yeah, and it's funny that we were talking about this, like, because Krellinston, it's not like what Josh said was unique. Like, Krellinston even had another segment, I think 2 episodes ago, where he was talking about he exposes himself to a saddle position a lot when he tries to take the back, and he feels totally comfortable there. And I think he even said he never, like, you know, basically he also said something to the effect of like he wasn't particularly threatened by the guillotine. And it's like, again, you know, you get to a certain level and like
guys get really, really good.
Yeah. So
that was interesting. I mean, it was a good match.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next match.
So
we had the rematch between Keith Krikorian and Ethan Krellinston.
Yeah.
So you saw this match before at the ADCC
American Trials
East
final.
Coast Trials, where we saw Krellinston take it via basically points and back control. In that one, was unable to get the submission, I think, at the East Coast Trials, able to take it on points. So this is a rematch of that match. And I was like, okay, let's see how this goes.
Keith starts off really hot. Like, he was definitely the intensity on this. Actually, this match is also fucking great. Like,
I feel like this is the most intense we've seen him come out in Shugyo, and as of recently, like he was super intense coming into this match.
Well, a good example of this is, you know, we've been talking about Shugyo's format where it's a submission only, no time limit match, and so what they'll do is they condense it down to all the exciting parts, and they highly produce it. It's got music and all this stuff. This match was not really condensed. It was like you know, maybe 4 minutes of like
4 or 5
footage,
minutes,
and then the actual match was like 4 minutes and 38 seconds because the whole match was exciting.
Yeah,
they didn't have to cut it out at all. These guys were just like, it was insanely technical. People going like flying all over the place, sweeps, counters, rolling back takes.
And then we saw a really similar back take that Krellinston hit on Krikorian again. And he gets the back. So
yeah. Well, it's clear Ethan loves to play like the octopus guard, and he likes to try to swim behind to take the back. And I think this might be the very position that he was talking about, where he was saying that he was exposing himself to leg locks. But I'll have to go back and see when people have been attacking his leg locks. But he's basically spams that. Like, he keeps going for it, and at some point he beats Keith to the back, and he's able to get back up on there. And Ethan locks a body lock from the back, and he just starts slamming in the rear naked choke. And he's able to finish with the rear naked choke, and he's slamming so hard across Keith's mandible. Even in the interview afterwards, Ethan goes up and he's like, "Yeah, I have teeth marks. I don't know if you guys can see that."
And he's like, not that he was biting me. He goes, "I was just over his face and jawline so hard that it." And he was active, like, "Hey, he didn't bite me, but like that's how hard I was squeezing to get him to tap." And it was like, wow. And then in the interview, so they're showing the interview with Ethan, and then they cut to Keith.
This was,
and it's just a blank screen.
Before we get to that,
okay.
As you guys are just shooting back and forth off of each other, I'm watching the episode again, just muted.
Okay.
And I'm watching the actual like scenario of the back take, and he literally put himself as he went in and tried to dive through, but posted the leg out. Ethan, yes. Yeah. Posted the leg through, and it was like, you're putting yourself in the leg reap. Krikorian didn't even think or even have the time to think about it, because Ethan starts to just dive underneath and twist, and then octopus, like Emil was saying, to the back. And just that thought process alone, and I'm just watching this again, and I'm probably making faces and not realizing it.
We got video now, Josh. We're good.
Right. But I'm watching it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Just from that position. And I totally sidelined this.
No.
But the interview then goes to Keith.
Well, yeah, we do see it. I saw the octopus come up a bunch there, and I want to study it because
he literally used it to ride and then come on.
The transition
swimming
is beautiful.
around. Like he'll put both arms behind, like over and over again. It's such an interesting.
See, it's like stuff like that is why I'm kind of really disappointed to see him out of ADCC, because I want to see like that work like against those top upper echelon ADCC guys. We've seen Corrin's also in ADCC.
We fortunately have Nicky Ryan still in there, and they're while their games are different, and actually Gary Tonin plays a lot of octopus guards, so
he does as well. So eventually we'll see it more, but like it was cool. Yeah. So they do the interviews and Ethan's talking, and then
this was like. I can't think of a realer moment that I've like observed in jiu-jitsu. This was an incredible post-fight interview, and like Keith, like
they cut to the Keith's camera and there's no one there.
Right. So they talk to a producer,
and
the producer's like, Keith walked out and we can't find him, and they approach him. He's sitting down on the floor outside, completely like barefoot, like
away from
the
everyone.
streets, away from everyone, and he's like clearly just devastated and processing his loss. And I don't know how much time goes by, but like they bring him back in to interview him to get his thoughts about the match, and he is just like
super emotional.
He cries.
Yeah,
you can't tell me, like, I don't care how you think of somebody as like, oh, the cry. No, this dude is showing the realest amount of emotion throughout jiu-jitsu. And I don't care like how much you don't like care about losing. Like when I lose, I really don't give a fuck. But deep down somewhere in there, I care. And it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And this isn't even for something important or money or anything like that. It's just a tournament that more than most of the time that I've paid for. And this guy's on camera and he's been having all of these matches and all of this emotion just pours out.
Yeah.
The only way that like he seems to know how to process it. And it's like, that's jiu-jitsu, and that's the love of jiu-jitsu, that it literally affects you so much that you cannot emotionally control yourself.
It was so sincere. Like I was a Keith Krikorian fan before this. Nah, I just love him.
Dude,
he's like,
all the comments on that entire video are just like, man, if you weren't a fan of Keith, like you are now. And like that's why the stuff like this, like how much Keith cares about competing and winning. And he even talks about, he goes, I just don't know how to lose well. And it was like, there's such a good, amazing moment there.
He said words that like Josh said, a lot of us we experience at way lesser levels, right? Like, I don't even compete. And like, you go in, you have a terrible night on the mats, like with, your friends and stuff, let alone going to this thing that's going to be televised. It's
behind closed doors and this big hype.
And like someone's got a camera in your face, and for him to like put words to that was really powerful. So it's, we've been gushing about Shugyo, but like this episode was really great. And like Keith's interview afterwards was really great. And it's a perfect contrast with Ethan, who I also really like, but like, Ethan got put unconscious for the first time in his life last week.
Yep.
And you could hear how much it was affecting him. He just like, he had to pull the cameraman aside after the match and go over the footage to see what happened and see himself get put out. That's how much it was bothering him. And all he could say was like, that's so fucked up. Like, that's so fucked up. You could tell it was eating him for similar reasons. And, however anyone needs to process it, however you need to do it to maintain, like, a competitive edge. I totally understand that. But, like, Keith was really earnest and, like, vulnerable, and it was awesome
Go back and watch the match. Like go experience this and watch this for yourself, because this is how much the guys at the highest levels care about what they do.
Yep.
And that really comes through in a great way. And it's like, it's just cool to have that, like, put this out there.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. So now, anything else on that?
No.
So now
I'm emotionally fucking drained.
Yeah.
We have the finals now coming out tomorrow, and we have
No, you don't.
Orchard. I'm pretty sure we do.
No.
No,
We have a
it's semis.
Is it
you have a
semis?
second semi because there's a tie. Orchard from one bracket,
Yeah.
and then
We don't know who's the second bracket yet.
exactly, and they fucking cliffhangered us.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
but there's no match for it. It's whoever submitted their guys in the shortest amount of time total.
Oh yeah, that's right. So there isn't.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we don't know who the finals is because they fucking cliffhangered us.
I know. I was like, are you?
They were
really
like,
for a
well,
week?
I beat this guy, and then this guy beat this guy, but I beat this guy, and then I hope I beat him
You know
in
what the
this
funniest
amount of
thing
time.
is? You could totally figure this out.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you could have totally done the math, and I
love
was
the
like,
fucking-
I was like,
Like all you have to do is
suspense.
be like, okay, what's who had the quickest submission rate, and you're like,
I think it's Holy.
Yeah, Holy was cruising.
Yeah, but Holy and Orchard are in the same bracket.
so he's out of that's the same bracket.
I think
but
so.
you have to take the fastest time of the other bracket.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I haven't gone back.
Could
through
have done the math, but I was like, you know what? I said I was going to do it at the beginning. I'm going to watch Shugyo
It
as
might
a
be
fan.
Ethan. Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I'm going to watch it as a fan.
Yeah.
And so, like, tomorrow, when this show comes out, Shugyo will be out. Watch it.
Does it come
enjoy
out
it.
tonight, Monday? Like
It comes.
like
It
8?
varies time a little bit. Sometimes it's out Monday. I talked to Phil a little bit today. It's gonna come out tomorrow.
Sweet.
So it'll
Tuesday.
be out. Watch it. It's been amazing. Anything else you guys got on Shugyo?
No.
No.
That shit
Watch
was
it.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
So good.
So on to our recap preview of ADCC 2019, the biggest event in grappling.
God,
this is
fucking damn it.
The
I'm so pumped.
motherfucking Olympics.
This is our Super Bowl,
of
our
no-gi
Olympics.
jiu-jitsu.
this is the biggest event. Like, this is the one that everyone looks forward to every 2 years. It's the biggest names. If you don't know what ADCC is, it is the
Abu
Dude,
Dhabi
stop
Combat
fucking
Club.
listening to our podcast.
And start watching some shit. Like
That's what you say if
seriously,
you don't know what ADCC is.
Like no
Holy
joke.
shit,
Like
dude.
even if you're brand new, like everybody at your gym right now is fucking talking about ADCC.
You guys have talked about this. ADCC was why you guys started doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, just
Well,
trying to
Maine is
get
an
all the
awkward
information.
creeper.
Yes.
And just like, hey, and this is an open mat. He's like, hey, so do you want to do like this thing where we talk about events
Like
that happen,
professional
like
jiu-jitsu?
professional jiu-jitsu stuff like ADCC that just happened because nobody really I'm like, you mean like a fucking podcast? It's like exactly like
Yeah, I
that.
wanted to
Yes.
do a podcast, but I wanted to, like, I didn't know how cool you were with it, so I brought it to you slow. He's like,
But-
I'll do a podcast with you.
But ADCC is why we're here. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's
ADC. Thank you, ADCC 2017, for this.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Maine then decided, hey, we'll do the fight to win that you're on, and that will be the inaugural episode.
No, it wasn't supposed to be the inaugural episode. We were, like, doing a test episode, and I was like, hey, I put it out. And you were like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it was good, but okay. And now
But
time has told us
there's
it's fucking terrible.
everyone on here is a marquee name. We're going to go through the divisions.
Yeah, let's run through them.
Yeah,
Just
like
run it.
So let's start off men's under 66 kilograms. We have Juan Alvarenga. We have Thomas Halpin, Kenta Iwamoto, Nikki Ryan, Gio Martinez,
Ow.
Tanquinho, that's Augusto Mendez, Shane Jamil Hill Taylor, Paulo Miao, Johnny Grippo, Pablo Montavani, Keith Kokorian, Bruno Frazado, Matheus Gabriel, Kennedy Maciel, which is Cabrina's son, Richard Alarcon, and Ty Rotolo.
Yo, that
Jesus
division's
Christ.
great.
By the way, let's put this caveat in there. Subject to fight card, or what's the thing they put in?
Dropouts.
There's whatever it is. There's a potential for nobody being in this fucking division at all.
Hard subject to change.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. So, dude, that's a good division. Do we want to talk about front runners? Do we want to make
Yeah,
picks or
I'm,
no?
I'm going to talk about
Make the pick.
Some of
Don't
the
even
big
talk
names.
about front runners.
Okay, Paulo Miao is my pick, and here's why. If I did the thing where I look past the past 2 years and any matches that people had with other competitors in their division, And Paulo has
Now, you didn't do gi or no gi, so these could have been gi matches too. So
it's
that
true.
does factor.
A lot of
in,
them are gi matches, but I will say Paulo Miao has more matches versus opponents in his division than anyone else that I saw in ADCC, and he's 6-2 against them in the past 2 years. The only 2 losses, interestingly, coming from Johnny Grippo.
Right. Also in this division.
Also in this division, Johnny is, as far as I can see it, the biggest threat to Paulo in this. But as of right now, I see this as Paulo's division. Shane is amazing, but he has a loss to Johnny Grippo, and he has a loss to Matheus Gabriel as well.
Definitely a front runner. You think?
I think it's a safe pick, honestly.
Yeah. This division more than anyone else, I think, has a clear front runner.
If we're looking at just by the numbers alone, not like looking at style matches, just like by the numbers alone.
Just by the numbers,
he has the most matches against everyone else. He has the most victories. So it's like, I think that's, for us at least, a good enough way as any to like make an assessment. I think there's a bunch of guys in this division that could definitely take it.
Right.
But I think Paulo, just given the history he has against the other guys, is a front runner there.
So in terms of other big names, like, we have Gio Martinez, who has not been particularly active in grappling over the past 2 years. He beat the other Miao, Joao, at EBI in overtime, but that doesn't really translate into this rule set. So, it's hard to say.
Subversive, right? Not EBI.
Sorry. Yeah,
it was subversive.
It was subversive, but it was an EBI style overtime.
Right. Yeah.
And he has a loss to Paulo. Gio's also, a really talented grappler, but
been on ADCC before, knows the rule set, does well in the rule set.
Right.
So
you should be training for this.
Tanquinho, is perennially an excellent competitor, but like I feel like he's lost some steam in the past couple years. He also has a loss to Paulo Miao. He has a loss to Wagner Hosha, who's in a different division.
One division up.
Yeah.
So 66 to 77.
He has a draw with Johnny Grippo. Where he's at, it's hard to tell. Johnny Grippo, again, he's 2-1 versus Paulo in the past 2 years. And he has a win over Ethan Carlston, but Carlston
He's a win over Shane, too. I think it was within the last 2 years as well, but I don't know. But I know that was a gi match. I know that was not a no-gi match.
So, those are the big names. It's interesting. Kennedy Maciel, Cabrina's son, being thrown in here. I was initially like, okay, Cabrina stepping out and his son stepping in is, Kennedy has not accomplished what his father has yet. And so that's
the caveat being.
Yeah, exactly. He's young.
Or even will he? That's the other thing.
That is a legitimate question. But I will say he has, he's 3-1 versus people in this division, which is pretty fucking good, actually.
Oh, yeah.
In the past 2 years. He has 1-1 versus Matheus Gabriel and 2-0 versus Pablo Montavani. So we'll see how that goes.
Can you get Choke Matheus unconscious in the Nogi Worlds match?
Yeah, then I don't think so. I think Matheus might be the one that broke his arm.
Broke the one that broke his arm at
Yes.
Pans. It was at Gi Pans.
It might have been at Nogi. I don't know.
No, I think it was at Gi Pans.
Gi Pans,
yep,
yeah.
Gi Pans. He broke his arm, and then he was out, but he's back in. So that's the division. Anything else on the under 66 kilogram division?
Nope, that's about it.
Moving on to the under 77 kilogram division. Emil, kick it off.
We got JT Torres, Ross Nichols, John Satava, John Combs, Servio Tulio, Mateus Gamro, Lachlan Giles, Wagner Hosha, Oliver Taza, Edwin Najmi, Renato Canuto, Lucas Lepre, Celso Vinicius, DJ Jackson, Dante Leone, and Gary Tonin. I can't stop.
I gotta edit the audio.
Keep it in your pants.
This is, but
this division is crazy.
It's stacked, and I don't care about your math, but this is JT Torres' division to lose.
I think it's Torres' division to lose.
Here's my argument against that. I'm gonna be the fucking nerd in here.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Here's why you're wrong.
JT he's obviously the champion from last year, and in his championship run, he beat a bunch of people in this fucking division. Pretty much everyone he beat is also in this division. But I will say his biggest margin of victory at ADCC was 3-0. There were a lot of really close matches in that run. It wasn't as dominant as you think, and in the past 2 years, he hasn't been that active. He has a new gym that he's opened up. He's been focused on developing his students.
Fuck you, he won a bunch of pans and was close at Worlds and shit. Fuck that. JT Torres, fuck your math.
And here's my counterpoint. We also saw him versus Wagner, who's been a perennial top contender recently, and he beat Wagner pretty handily if they're points and on decision for fight to win. So it's like he
fuck
looks
your
good.
math.
I'm just saying he's vulnerable.
So who are you picking? If you're not picking JT, who are you going to pick?
I don't have a clear front runner, which is why I like this division. Okay, but I'm just saying JT is incredible, but he's not as he's vulnerable.
You have a
this
little less
open
activity,
division.
and the margin of victory at the last ADCs give you some questions.
Which is, I mean, it's important to be able to win close matches. At this level, a lot of these matches are going to be fucking close.
Close and decisions.
Right.
Like that's ADCC level matches. Like you're literally the best dudes in the world in the weight class in Nogi with pretty much everything goes. You can't you can slam out of subs. You can't do certain neck cranks. And
The fuck are you talking about?
you can't do what Jeff Monson paralyze a guy with?
What?
I think you can't do
Can openers?
is it a can opener?
He didn't paralyze anybody. He fucking can opener paid a Pano, and paid a Pano tapped and acted like he just won fucking 10 worlds in one match. Fucking can opener? Bro, you can't slam people for no reason. And then other than that, I don't think you can fish hook and eye poke.
Pretty much.
Or grab the dick.
Nope. I don't think you can do that either, Josh.
And you can't check the oil.
Nope.
Other than those things, anything fucking goes. If you want to fucking Texas Cloverleaf somebody, the wrestling one, not the jiu-jitsu one, cool. If you want to do the fucking Mexican surfboard, fine.
Here's actually, if I had to pick a person that wasn't, I think JT Torres definitely has a great shot at winning it again. But Lucas Lepre is it's hard to fucking pick against
good.
him.
I think a sleeper in this division is Giles. He's been there before. He's looked good.
Lachlan?
He's gonna have a tough run at it, but he's a sleeper. And the Australians always show up for ADCC in a crazy way.
So Lachlan, he has a win over Ross Nichols. That's basically about.
I still think it's Torres' division. I'm just
Yeah.
Enough with your math.
Yeah.
I appreciate your math, Emil, as a guy who didn't do the math.
I'm just saying, and hey, man, I just like looking at this stuff because I feel like promoters sometimes with matchmaking super fights don't always look at this, and sometimes it's a little bit more lopsided than you think. But
you're a stats guy.
This
I'm also a stats guy, but I'm too dumb to do the stats, so I appreciate Emil.
This does look like a good even division. There's a lot of There's a lot of.
I mean, guys like Najmi, Canuto,
Yeah.
Leon, all the guys we see perform really, really well on a bunch of super fights, have faced each other before. This is a good division.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm excited to see Gary's return.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fucking Tony's in this division, too. So, moving on to the under 88 kilogram division. What do you got?
We got Adam Wardzinski, Alec Balding, Josh Hinger, Gabriel Almeida, Ben Dyson, Keller Loxodi, Mason Fowler, Craig Jones, Rustam Chizev, Mike Perez, Murillo Santana, Gabriel Arges, Matheus Diniz, John Blank, Valdir Arujo, and Pedro Marinho.
Dude, this is crazy. Just reading through the names, you're like, good guy,
Exactly.
good guy, really good guy, good guy, really good guy, really good guy.
All I'm saying
There's
is,
also no returning champion at this weight class because Yuri moved up to under 99.
right.
So that.
It's Gordon moving up to under 99.
Correct.
Also, Yuri moved out of this division. Wait.
Yuri moved out of under 99 and went to plus 99.
Correct.
Okay, I'm one division off. My bad.
Jesus
I
Christ.
forgot. Gordon moved up to plus. To
All I
99.
know is Adam Wardzinski is probably stoked that Kanan is not in this division. Adam has an amazing run, but pretty much all of his major losses have been to Kanan. So
Yeah.
I think without Kanan in this division, Adam certainly has a really, really fucking good shot.
Not against Craig
winning
fucking Jones.
Yeah, Craig Jones would be tough to beat.
Yeah, Craig
Honestly,
Jones.
so Mo
Craig
talked
Jones is
about
my
this.
pick.
Mo talked about this. Craig Jones went from probably the 14th or 16th seed at 2017 to, for this year, probably with how the divisions have moved, probably the number one seed.
No.
That's what he said.
That was literally the guy that's putting the fucking tournament on saying that.
I strongly.
So, based upon your stats and math, Emil, who would you argue is the number one seed?
Who on here has beat Leandro Lowe? Anybody? How about
think so.
Chael Sonnen? Anybody?
That doesn't count.
Yeah. You could say
That
Murillo Santana, who he also beat last ADCC. that would have been more pertinent than Chael fucking Sonnen.
But that doesn't matter. His wrestling control has helped him with his jiu-jitsu style grappling. But, like, who's he going to run into that's
so
really
he already has a loss to Matheus Diniz in this division. So, it's they're 1-1, so we'll see.
So also has a win against Matheus Diniz in this division.
I would probably pick Matheus Diniz. I think I would pick Matheus Diniz.
I think you're crazy. Like, straight up, like, I think that's honestly the most horseshit pick ever. Like, not because Matheus Diniz isn't a great grappler, but stats or anything alone, it's like...
You're picking against Craig Jones in ADCC.
Well, okay.
I think...
What is Craig Jones' best tournament win in the past 2 years?
What's his best tournament
Gabriel
win?
Arges, Grappling Fest, great win.
Tournament win.
He beat Tex. He beat Spriggs. He beat... let's go through all the guys. He's beat like half of the division that's in ADCC.
So has a win against Matheus Diniz, a win against John Thor Blank.
Yep.
He's 0-2 versus DJ Jackson. He's 0-1 versus Mike Perez.
I forgot about the
He's
Boa
1-1 versus Murilo Santana, and he's 1-0 versus Gabriel Arges. He's good. I love Craig Jones. He's one of my favorites. But like clear front runner.
This division, number one,
Different rule sets.
This division doesn't have DJ Jackson. So I don't understand why you would even have the comparison of those two in this division, because DJ Jackson went the smart route and went to the lower division
Emil,
to try
I appreciate
to
you getting the
clown
information.
people. And not that I don't think that the information isn't pertinent to the conversation, but one, you brought up somebody's name that isn't in this division.
Okay.
Two,
he still has a loss to Mike Perez, Murilo Santana, and Matheus Diniz.
When was the loss to Mike Perez?
In the past 2 years.
When?
I'd have to look it up.
See, that's the other thing too, where we were talking about this off of the recording about the evolution of the Meow Brothers and how, like, from tournament to tournament, they're getting better and better. Craig Jones isn't just like the footlock guy anymore, right? He's obviously training in the Blue Basement with the whole DDS squad a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He lives
and with Keenan
there. Yeah, he's with Keenan.
Mm-hmm. So you've got all of these people. You've got second place from 88 kilograms last time with Keenan. You've got the 88 kilo champion who is now in above 99, and second place at Absolute's Gordon Ryan. Why the fuck is Yuri training in the Blue Basement?
You said above 99, and he's not above 99. He's under 99.
He's in the under 99?
Gordon? Word, dog.
Yeah, he's under.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought he was.
You confused the shit out of me.
My bad. But he's in the under 99, so he's another weight class up. He was the runner-up in the Absolute. The guy's been on an absolute fucking tear. You're training with this dude continuously. He's adding new things to his game continuously. Like, we don't know the Craig Jones that's going to show up at ADCC, but not in like, oh, he's hit or miss like Herber Santos. We don't know because we don't know what new shit he's bringing. And that's frightening.
Sure. I don't pick people on what I don't know about them, though. So
I'm going to use these.
Emil with the fucking backhand information.
He's like, fuck you, I'm dropping my mic.
That was good. That was honestly,
that was good. But again, like, I understand stats and how you can use them in these scenarios, but
see, the thing is, like, I'm
a feel person.
Yeah, exactly. It's good that we have hot takes.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm looking through the rest of the division, and given the rule set, given what we've seen from Jones in the rule set and how he grapples, like, I think he matches up very favorably with a lot of these guys. And that's why I think, like, him and Hinger is a dope match, and I hope we see that match because I'm super interested to see how Hinger's wrestling and Jones is, like, really aggressive underneath the bottom game.
I am really excited. I hope
that's a match, honestly, I'm really interested in seeing.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a bunch I just think Jones, like, again, by the numbers, I agree with you. He may or may not be the front runner of the division, but for the specific weird-ass ADCC specialist rule set, he brings a lot to the table.
I love me, Craig Jones.
Does anyone have a pick for this division?
I don't have a strong
Jones?
pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a pick, like strong pick, and Emil has like made me super uncomfortable in that pick.
He
Now
used
I'm like,
his math to scare you.
I was like, definitely Craig Jones, and now Emil's like this lost. I'm like, well, maybe not Craig Jones in
I'm
hindsight.
just saying it's good. It's good to look over,
But he gave
stuff since
you
the
gave
last
me all the
ADCC.
math and then gave me no good pick. You're like, probably
Like I
not Craig
said,
Jones.
Matheus Diniz has experience against a lot of the people in there and has
Yeah.
wins against a lot of the people in there. And the funny thing is, like, before I looked back on matches like this, I wouldn't have necessarily picked Matheus Diniz. But if I had to go based on that, Matheus Diniz.
Okay,
So
I think that's reasonable.
if I had to go by my heart, I have no fucking idea.
So moving on to the under 99 kilogram division for the men.
We got Pertu Tepanen, Tim Spriggs, Paulo Jose Baruana, Mraz Avdoyan, Gordon Ryan, Aaron Tex Johnson, Keenan Cornelius, Ben Hodgkinson, Vinny Magales, Patrick Gaudio, Lucas the Hulk Barbosa, Jackson Souza, Paul Ardila, Dylan Dennis, Felipe Andrew, and Claudio Calasanz.
Nope. Vinicius Ferreira.
Oh, thank
replaced Calazans.
And hopefully Keenan is still in. Like, he's still got that weird
Dude, that
conjunctivitis
fucking
thing.
Yo, I looked for this. I couldn't
First of
find
all-
anything. What
First
happened?
of all, the fucking the stupid title that FloGrappling gave the article about Keenan.
Oh, it's a Flow article. That's why I couldn't find it.
So
I searched like Reddit and Instagram.
What's the what are they called? The stupid tags that are like to click on this thing. I'm blanking right now.
Link?
Like what's the stupid headline things
Yeah.
called though?
I have no idea what you're talking
Like
about.
clickable things to get you to click things.
A clickbait title.
Thank you. Clickbait. That's what it was. Couldn't think of it for some reason.
I feel like just on Family Feud, like, oh, get the thing.
The clickbait title that they put out, it's like the fucking sickness that's taking out all these grapplers. And
Oh,
it's-
that's what that was?
yes, it's
Oh.
conjunctivitis. So, AKA, that's fucking pink eye. But there's two forms of pink eye: viral pink eye, which is much easier to treat
Yep.
than bacterial pink eye.
One's a bacterial infection, one is a viral infection. How much do you guys know about bacteriology or virology?
Not as much as you do.
Why is the viral easier to treat?
The medicine that they
Yeah,
use to treat
it's
it
just-
is
it's
just
easier.
it fucking kills it.
Easier than antibiotics?
The way it's faster.
I might have this backwards.
Yeah,
You do,
probably
but
do.
I was gonna go with it, Josh.
See,
No, I
this is
thought-
why we need someone to check the fucking math.
So typically, the viral antivirals take longer to work the way that the viruses work in the body.
Yeah,
are
bacterial's
typ-
easier
yeah.
because you have antibiotics.
Usually, you can hit it with like 1 or 2 days. There's a bunch of different antibiotics you can
Keenan
use,
has viral conjunctivitis.
which is a much longer to clear.
Yeah, this is the fucking title. The new disease affecting elite grapplers.
I think they use the descriptor Ebola strength or something in there. It's definitely like
That's not Ebola strength.
No, I.
Uh-oh,
As
it
a
seems
guy-
a nasty
as
new...
a-
Listen to this is the fucking headline. Uh-oh, it seems a nasty new condition has hit a number of elite grapplers ahead of ADCC. With Keenan getting hit pretty hard, could it take him out of ADCC? It's like all this and more in this week's grappling bulletin. It's like they call it super fucking pink eye.
Yeah.
Which actually is a thing for some diseases. They use super and they use that's the distinction they use colloquially. Ebola strength is bullshit.
Yeah.
As a dude that literally
It's a
applied
hyperbole
as
for
a
sure.
dude that literally applied to work in Africa on Ebola sites, like that's not a thing.
Yeah,
Ebola strength.
No. I know it's hyperbole on their part, but like I do hope Keenan is still in. I hope no one else at the Blue Basement got affected, because that would fucking suck. That would.
Oh,
What's up?
this is what it's called. Maybe I got really excited about the clickbaity title and I didn't fully read through it.
No.
What? Josh got excited and
A
didn't
hot
read
take?
something?
Are you serious?
Holy shit.
Viral conjunctivitis called epidemic keratoconjunctivitis, or EKC.
Okay.
He picked it up at Henzo's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an inflammation of the cornea and a conjunctiva, and it is highly contagious and lasts as long as a month.
Yes.
Apparently, I bet you he got it from fucking Hinger. I bet Hinger had the same thing. Because, and it does say, Keenan is not the first person to have caught this Ebola strength version of pink eye.
I think Hingers is older, but yeah.
But but during the podcast, they're literally like this fucking far away from each other and in contact with one another. Yeah, you can get that shit. See, now it's saying Atos had an EKC
And
crisis
so we're
of
going
their
to
own
move
about a
on
month
from
ago.
this because Josh
See,
doesn't know virology. So
No,
Anyway.
it's just bullshit that they're saying he picked it up at at Henzo's.
Well, they did say other people at Henzo's got it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So hopefully neither the Ryan brothers, hopefully not Gary Tonin, hopefully not fucking Craig Jones, because he's been training there a lot too.
Spray your fucking eyeballs.
Everyone else that trains there.
Yeah, pretty much everyone.
Ethan
So
Carlinston?
actually, damn, I'm gonna fucking wear some. I'm glad I'm wearing glasses. I'm gonna put some goggles on over this and fucking ADCC. Those guys are gonna be walking around with some.
It's the little pink guy.
Fucking bring a torch and burn their eyes out.
So,
Stay away from me.
Moving on to the men's 99 kilogram division for this weirdest non sequitur ever. I apologize to everyone that just had to listen to us butcher bacteriology and virology. I realize I've been out of that field far too long and I feel like an idiot now.
So
You could have called me at the beginning.
Josh, I
and
was like,
had
you were super
mix-matched
convincing.
it.
I was like, that's so dumb.
right.
But like, okay, we're going with
who
that.
you guys got? Who you got? Who you got?
Dylan
Keenan.
Dennis.
Dylan Dennis.
No, I'm kidding.
Motherfucker.
Keenan.
No,
Keenan
we
over
don't even,
Gordon Ryan?
We don't even know if
Oh,
Keenan
no,
is
Gordon.
in the
Yeah.
fucking division.
Jesus
Sorry, I
Christ.
forgot he'd moved up.
We don't
You
even know if he's
fucking-
in the division.
This is mayhem.
And Keenan just switched to 99 a little while
Gordon.
ago. So, like, it's Gordon, again, it's Gordon's division to lose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you have Hulk, but they've competed against each other.
And Gordon won.
And actually, Vinny has a win over
In
Gordon.
ACBJJ, it was
Yeah,
points,
yep.
but he does have,
He does have a win.
And
I'm
it's a
just saying-
legitimate win, and it wasn't a weird win.
Yeah.
But it was an ACBJJ win, which has a different rule.
I do see the thing about Gordon is like that motherfucker changes and adapts so fucking well. He's like the John Jones of like jiu-jitsu.
Middle of match, he sees something and he kind of goes like, "Okay, this weakness." I was talking
Or
to
The way he just moves, and going back watching that Homolo match and just watching what he was doing to pass and then control, I was like,
It's
that was
I
really
talked to-
fucking smart.
I talked to Max Jimenez yesterday about his match with Gordon Ryan, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like he's not like." Everyone's like, he's super strong. He's like, not honestly super strong, but it's the way that he uses grips and like how I'm going to very paraphrase what Max said, but like how he uses angles to like get around you and like where he puts you and just like, he goes, it's very, very good. And it was just like, damn, like just the way he said it was like very like matter of fact of like, he's like not like nothing physical, nothing weirdly like about how he is as a grappler. He just like what he does is just really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a high level guy, another ADCC level guy going like, yeah, he's just really good.
Yeah, because you don't
Jesus.
see Gordon sit myopically on something and try to force it. He's like, this isn't working. Cool. You're resisting right here. I'm gonna go the
Right.
other way. And I see him taking this division. You know.
A bunch of guys could take it.
A lot of good guys,
depending
but
on
it's-
how
yeah, again,
depending on
it's-
how good his knee is. His knee's 85, 90ish.
We don't know that. If he wasn't really ready to fucking go, I don't think he would go because so many people would shit on him if he made any excuse whatsoever why
he actually
loses.
had a really good post right before we recorded the show. Was basically like, look, I'm gonna be real for a second. ADCC is really hard, and like
Fuck
guys
yeah.
are really good. Like when you're gonna comment for some of these guys that are gonna lose at ADCC, like think about this before you comment. Like, do you even understand what it takes to get on the level, and then to be on the level to get into ADCC? And it's like everyone's gonna lose except for one guy. And he goes, a lot of the guys that you like or don't like are going to lose. So think about if you can even understand the level that these guys are getting to get on ADCC before you post something.
Hell
And
yeah.
that's my exact point about pause. If he's not 100% ready, and he knows that he's 100% ready to fucking go, I don't think he would compete in the tournament because like all of the backlash, all of the everything of just the people bullshitting. Like he could lose the finals match, but people are going to be like, look at you, a king, you're so... It's like, no, you don't understand what it took for him to get to winning the division last time, getting back into the division and potentially going to the finals or winning it.
Yeah, at 88 kilograms too.
At 88, cutting weight to get to 88 now is at under 99.
Probably cutting it to 99
Like,
soon.
but the second, and this isn't me like, poo-pooing on him, the second he says anything about the reason he lost,
yeah.
he will be completely discredited for everything.
Yeah.
And he understands that.
Yeah.
Whether he does or not is yet to be seen yet. But anything he says after that, if he makes any excuse other than, I lost, this person was better than me today. If he says anything, all credibility will be gone. Like he's still an amazing grappler that has very few losses, is very good at what he does. But because of his bravado, because of the way he acts on social media,
because of what made him famous,
everything will be gone. He'll be yesterday's fucking garbage
until he beats a bunch of guys, because he's on events like almost every single week after ADCC.
It takes some of the wind out of the sails. It takes some of the fear out of the legend that is Gordon Ryan.
That's true.
The mythos, if you will, falls away.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're saying. Where like at this point, I'm sure people that are going up against him are being like, yeah, like, what does it take to fucking beat this guy?
At this point, everybody expects him to win. So there's a whole nother level of pressure that he's under, because one of his brash attitude, his stark claims of like, I'm the fucking best, I'm going to win, nobody can stop me, I'm going to win the absolutes. Like, okay. Like, people now know better than to bet against Gordon Ryan, and it's now only just the pressure on him.
Yeah,
because he has to win.
Yep, and I see him winning it. So
absolutely.
The plus 99 kilogram for the men's,
big for the men.
Buchecha, Marcos Almeida. We have Eldar Rafkev. We have Nick Rodriguez, Antonio Braganeto, Matheus Juskowiak, Yuri Simoes, Orlando Sanchez, Roberto Cyborg Abriel, Jared Dopp, Joao Gabriel Hiroshi, who's out now.
He's now out of that. We don't have, as of this recording at like 8 o'clock on September 23rd, we do not have a replacement at this time, but I assume one will come in the next 10 hours.
I'm super bummed about that. We have Kanan Duarte, Victor Hugo, Muhammad Ali, John Hansen, Elliot Marshall, Max Jimenez. We have a lot of fucking talent in here.
Buchecha.
How do you not pick Buchecha? Yeah.
How do you not? But there's so many like
Kanan.
There's Kanan. Not only that, like that. Kanan. Fucking Muhammad. Have you seen pictures of him recently?
Holy shit,
fuck.
dude.
Fuck. It's like he's chiseled out of marble. He's doing his camp at
Cyborgs and Fight Sports.
That's another thing. Cyborg is in that same division.
Cyborg, previous winner, previous absolute winner, like.
But you have all of these new guys.
you have
fucking the giant human being that is Orlando Sanchez. And if you go through that dude's Instagram, I swear to God,
bring that up. Holy fucking shit.
The way he's like, that's 2, and you're just watching him like, who wants to train with that guy? And he picks up dudes that look like they're 250, 260, like they're children.
Easily. Yeah. Like, not like lifts a guy, but like that dude's 260 pounds. And you just lifted. He 337, 340.
He hasn't posted his weight recently.
Caber tosses these
I want to say posted his weight. He was in the 340s. I want to say within the last 6 weeks.
Jesus Christ. He posted a picture of himself, like I think as a purple belt winning worlds in the gi, and he was so fucking tiny in comparison, because he was fucking big then, but he looked tiny.
His picture at Blue Belt World.
That's what it was with the fucking. He had hair.
He has hair, and he's
just like shredded.
He's not shredded, but he's like a thick guy. He's like got good big shoulders, and you look at him now, you're like,
what the fuck happened,
dude?
How many people did he eat?
Yeah, it's impossible to pick against Buchecha. This one, he's fucking Buchecha, but like,
you know who's really good at the rules and knows how to game the system and game it? Yuri Simoes.
Yeah,
who's coming up from under 99.
This is exciting between those, like the four, those.
And then you have fucking sleeper cell Nicky Rodriguez.
I'm curious to see what happens.
Dude, I'm so excited to see like all of this stuff going on. Who just got announced against Kanan for Fight to Win in Philly.
Right? Oh, I saw that this morning. This morning that came through, and I texted everyone. I was like, "Did you see this?" And I got 8 messages on Instagram. I posted on our story, and it was like I got 8 messages that were like, oh shit, or like, how do you think it's gonna go?
Flame emojis.
All of these different messages from people with how do you think this is gonna go? And I was like, it's gonna be
talk
good.
About an X factor. I have no idea how that's gonna go.
I don't even want to guess this division. I mean, it's a safe bet to go with Buchecha.
Buchecha's had some really close finals matches.
Here's
recently.
the thing. The thing is
really close.
The most impressive thing is he's like fucking Tom Brady of goddamn jiu-jitsu. It's like
pulls it out.
Doesn't matter how bad of a position he gets in, he's still fucking, still has the skill set and the mentality to pull out the win at the end.
It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
It's just like
the number of times where I'm like, oh my God,
Or
is
he's
he
down
vulnerable?
in a bad position, and all of a sudden you're just like, he's like, oh, I got 2 minutes left, better get on top and win. You're like, oh, and he does. You're
He
just
just
like,
does,
and he
yeah.
just does, and he always does. And it's like, no
There's
matter
a
where he is,
BJJ Stars match, right, where he was getting his ass whooped.
he actually lost that match
Oh,
to
okay,
Gabrielle.
okay, okay,
It
yeah.
was the world's match.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
the
that's
finals
what- yeah,
in the world.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forget who he was against.
No, wasn't it I think it was the semifinals. I think the finals match was more decisive for him. I could be wrong though.
1 second. So sorry about that. We had to pause the recording because there was a helicopter outside announcing stuff, and we live in Baltimore and had to figure out what was going on. And we're good. So the doors were locked.
But yeah, long of it is, this is definitely Buchecha's to lose. So
Yeah, I think
It's
there
a
are
hard pick, but
Yeah.
it is also.
you're dumb to pick against him. 'Cause
Exactly.
He's so good. Like Yuri's good. Like Max. Like there's so many guys in this division that are good. But if you have Gabriel out, I think the guy that's given him the hardest problems recently,
yep.
is not in the division. But I think again, Orlando Sanchez is a giant of a human being. Like there's so many guys in here that have X
I mean,
factor.
do you remember
talent.
when
Nicky
he
Rodriguez
won?
has X factors of talent.
He won the division. He didn't get any points.
Yeah.
He just was on top
Yep.
and just won because he was on top.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you can stop Buchecha from doing anything and just hold him there,
It's conceivable.
there's
Who knows?
that's a hard one. You guys get to watch it live.
So
Yep. So
women's
let's move on to the women's division. Under 60 kilograms for the ladies.
Bia Mesquita, Jenna Bishop, Franciel Nascimento.
Nope, she's now out. It's Catherine Perret.
Okay. Olivia Giles, Rikako Yuasa, Bianca Basilio, Elvira Karpinen, and Fionn Davies. Jesus Christ.
This is Bia's division to win. I don't see anybody stopping her whatsoever. Point somebody out that will beat her.
Fionn got really close, right?
I think she got footlocked, didn't she?
Not even by. That wasn't even in that match, but it was in UAE.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that was the match that.
And because it was like a weird weight class where they were both in it, because Fionn is smaller than Bia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I think at least one weight class down. But Bia trounced her. And I don't see anybody else.
That was the match where there was a large point differential, but remember I was like, this match is closer than the points say.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I remember that.
all that back and forth.
That
the
was a
sweeping.
great
I
match.
remember that.
Yeah.
match.
Yes, it
And
was
I
10-0,
and
but it
Fionn
was
was-
contested to the
No,
last.
it wasn't 10-0.
It was
Fionn
like
was
6
up.
It was like 4-2, but Bia just turned it around really quick.
Yeah.
And it only was maybe 6-4.
10-2.
No, it was not.
I thought it was there was a guard pass.
You know we're all gonna go back and watch
Yeah.
this later tonight.
Yeah,
right?
it was a reround recommended match.
Yeah,
It was a good match, I think.
It was. I think
think
Josh
it's
is
on
right. It was
flow.
4-2 or 6-2. Basically, Fionn was up on points and dominant for a
Yeah.
significant portion of the match, and then
One small little
there was
mistake.
exactly, and then Bia barely got the 4 points for taking the back.
Something
just from
like
a
that.
scramble.
Now I
think this
really
is
have to go
correct,
back and watch
but-
this.
I'm pretty sure this was it.
Okay.
This stood out to me a lot, and I remember being like, "This is a lot closer than the points."
Yeah.
So
The other thing is, I think Perret also has a victory over Davies as well, but I don't remember. I think it was a fight to win match, probably 6 or 8
it
months
just
ago.
happened a couple of weeks ago.
Was it that
It was
recently?
a no-gi match.
This all blurs together, man.
I think.
It was a good match, though.
There's a ton of talent in here.
Mm-hmm.
In this, this is arguably one of the most stacked divisions, but Bia is just
The
so
women's
fucking
division,
good.
It's 8.
Yeah.
The top 8 women in the world. Oh, and it's half the division. It's 60, under 60, or over 60.
Right.
So they are stacked.
Yep.
And Mo put a poll out.
They went against each other in ADCC 2017.
Oh, shit. Who won?
And there are multiple. Let's see.
But yeah.
That one went to time limit, yeah.
Okay.
And the other one went to 620, I think, where Bia submitted her.
So Mo was talking about, he goes, do I add 16 women next time to brackets, or do we add another women's division? And it was pretty universal, add another women's division.
Yeah.
Yep. So keep it at 8, but more divisions. So it's like it'll be interesting. This may be the last year we get under 60 and over 60. So
I'm okay with that. That's
yeah.
like there's clearly an abundance of talent in
There's
here.
8 more high-level women if they can move the weight class
Easily.
for.
Yeah. So
anything else for that one?
Nope. We got the women's plus 60 kilogram division. Gabi Garcia, Amanda Leve, Karina Santi. We have Stephanie Egger, Jessica Flowers, Tayan Porforio, Natalie DeJesus, and Anna Carolina Vieira. Jesus fucking Christ! This is
a rough division. I mean, Gabi's so hard to beat in Nogi and ADCC rules.
It's true.
3-time champion, I think.
Yeah.
Going for 4.
Yeah. They just put out an article about her making history.
Man, it's tough to pick against her.
But she just lost to Natalie.
In the gi, though.
Okay.
Yeah, fight to win. I agree, but I'm saying the gi, and she lost in a very gi kind of way in that matchup where it was very slow, very grindy.
It'll be interesting to see the match. You have Karina Santi, who's really, really, really good. Flowers, really good. Natalie, really good, and holds a recent victory over her.
Anna Carolina Vieira, also fucking amazing.
Like you have, this is a huge division of women that all potentially could win it.
Yep. Yeah. It's super exciting.
It should be a outstanding event. I cannot wait. I leave Wednesday. I'm bringing all of these Grappling Rewind stickers. So if you see me, I will have a shitload of these on me.
Give me one of them.
There you go, Josh. There's 30.
I don't want 30. I
That's
just want
fine. That's
one.
on you. So come and see me, and I'll hand you some stickers. Let's see what else. So how you doing here? We got the Blacksmith here from King of the Mat Grappling. They're running a really cool upcoming event. We want to talk to them on this week's episode because we got some time, and I want to talk to them about their event. So let's do it. I got a couple questions for you. We kind of talked a little bit beforehand about some of the particulars of your event, some really cool stuff you guys have coming down the pipe. So first of all, what is the rule set for King of the Mat, and how did you guys come up with it? Is there anything different significantly from your previous events that we've covered that we should know about?
So the rules are the same, and what we shoot to do with the rules is pretty much modified EBI rules. Took a lot of the stuff that we liked in EBI, but we wanted to add some more. We like slamming. We like muffling. Pretty much the goal is always going to be black and white winner. We don't want people to stall. We don't want decisions. We're really pushing for that submission-only format.
Okay. So basically the very similar rules to the last event. So for King of the Mat 7, there's really no big changes.
No, just modified EBI rules, and that's what we do here.
Okay. So what was the process? So you got a big headliner that I want to talk about, kind of cut right to the chase here. What was the process for getting Gordon Ryan on your event? Again, your event runs second week of October, third week of October?
The 19th.
19th of October, right after ADCC, a couple weeks after that. So what was the process for getting Gordon Ryan on this event?
So the fact that he hasn't blocked us yet is really amazing. We have been blowing him up since tournament number 1. Blowing him up, literally. DMs, posting. And then finally, I think he got to start seeing what we're building here. And for Kings of the Mat 7, we threw out an offer to him again, nagged him a little bit, kind of told him 10 grand's on the line, and he came through.
That's a pretty nice payout for an event. I'm super happy to see you guys are like paying out your champion that much money. I know your previous champions have been Dante Leon. We've seen some other really exciting matches from your promotion. I think we have a couple highlights on our Instagram from past King of the Mats events, and that's again one of the reasons I really wanted to speak to you is because you guys seem to run really fun events and have a format that kind of fosters fun jiu-jitsu. Who are the commentators? Do you know who the commentators are for this event yet?
Yeah, so we'll have Bradley Bukovitz and Cody. Once again, they've ran pretty much all of them. And we also have Dustin Ware, who, in my opinion, is like a pillar in running organized events in Ohio. So those 3 will be on the board for official commentary.
That's awesome. So Gordon Ryan's on the card. What are some other grapplers that people who listen to our show should be on the lookout for? I know Dante Leon is a staple on King of the Mats. I know he's a big guy. Who are some other people on the card or another guy grappler on the card that people should be watching out for in the lead up to this event?
So what I like to consider like the up and comers, the people that could really pull to the top just based on this event is Roberto Jimenez and Aaron Harris. Both of those are 2 young gunners. But I mean, this card's stacked. I mean, Borovic's on there. You have Quentin. I mean,
all of those guys are guys that we've covered before. And we've covered winning. I think Aaron Harris is the current sub-spectrum champion. I think we've seen Quentin win championships. I think he has a victory over Tex Johnson, who's going to ADCC. Dante's put on great performances against like you're getting guys from the super fight scene that we have seen winning and main eventing other cards, which is again why I'm super excited for the lead up to this one, because you've got some real standout grapplers.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else any other event? So basically, any event information. How can people watch this event? Like, where's the best place for them to get the card?
Okay, so you can go to kingofthematgrappling.com and you can buy the pay-per-view. Right now, it's $15 if you buy it before October 14th. Let's be realistic. We blow that every week on dumb stuff. Let's put it to something good. Let's support jiu-jitsu. That's like one of our main goals here is to have the athletes benefit. And the really cool thing we're doing this time is part of the proceeds are actually going to the Zion Clark Foundation. Zion Clark will also be on the card having a charity exhibition wrestling match against the NCAA champ. And we're trying to tie both of those together. So when you go to kingofthematgrappling.com, choose your favorite athlete, whether it's Dante, Gordon. You can even choose Zion Clark if you want. Just know that what we're doing is trying to build jiu-jitsu, and with the Zion Clark Foundation, we're trying to help physically disabled athletes get into whatever sport they choose. So that's kind of something different we're doing here at Kings, is we're really trying to build the community and make this world a better place. Not trying to sound like a cheese ball, but it's true.
That's awesome, man. I really love what you guys are doing. Is there anything else that I've missed, or anything else that you want to plug or talk about for King of the Mats coming up before we kind of conclude this?
No, just go to kingofthematgrappling.com. Sign up for free. We got blogs, we got podcasts up there. But if you want to see the pay-per-view, get it before October 14th. It'll be $15, $20 after that. Get to watch some of the best in the world, and it benefits a really good nonprofit. So I think this is a good time for people to rise up for the jiu-jitsu scene and really make a difference.
Hey, man, that's awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. Again, I cannot thank you enough for that, and I'm really looking forward to your event. I cannot wait to preview it and cover it on the recap for our show, and feel free to reach out with anything else you got coming down the pipe. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, so let's talk about Josh getting choked unconscious that won the BJJ, made the Valhalla Club. You won Valhalla Club.
It made the fucking Instagram page.
For BJJ Scout.
Which is fucking hilarious.
So let's talk about this,
Yeah,
Josh.
what happened, Josh? You want to walk us through this?
I got choked unconscious is what happened. Now
you gave the most fucking Brazilian tap ever. You did one
I tapped him.
It
wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a hard enough tap to not get choked unconscious, but I tapped him. Anybody saying the ref was bad, he was not in a good position to see what the fuck was going on, to see my arm barely once going like that. So maybe it's just me fucking around, because if what you don't see in that video is the entire thing, which is me fucking around. And I was stating it before again we recorded. It's like I have zero respect competitively in myself anyway as like in no-gi. Like for the past, 5 years, I've only really cared about the gi. I'll enter no-gi divisions because I can, but I could care less about them.
And grappling issues less black belts compete for free.
That's also true.
So you were like,
brown
let's
and
go.
black belts and MMA fighters.
Yep. Pro MMA fighters.
Yes. And I go into the next match with the same, I really don't give a shit. And I was, being goofy, having fun. I jumped guard. The guy was like as you saw, he was trying to like elbow pass. I'm looking at this guy's camera while he's filming it, and I'm waving to it like I'm having a great old time. Again, this will be a side segment, but like I'm scrolling through some of these Instagram comments, and these people were like, what is this, fucking white belts? Or, slowest attempt at a Kimura ever. I'm like, did you see how I sat up? That's like the worst way to sit up ever. Period. Like, why would you sit up that way? Somebody was like, that's not how you do a hip bump sweep. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, does it look like it's like I'm slowly sitting up and reaching across? Why? Because one, I don't think he's legitimately going to try to arm triangle me from inside my guard.
Which is honestly a pretty reasonable assessment to make in a black belt match.
Two, I also thought, even if he does, I don't fucking respect that at all. So he does it. And at first, I'm like, are you seriously going to do this? And then my neck started hurting because he was squeezing so fucking hard. Like, my neck was legit cracking. And then he sank down more, and I'm like, still, I don't fully respect it at this point. I'm like, this is uncomfortable, but this is fucking stupid. And then I'm like, oh, wait, it's also getting very tight. And then it's getting tighter. And in my brain, in my head, I'm having this fucking conversation with myself. And I'm going, I'm about to lose a match where I'm getting choked from inside my guard. Like, I'm not in somebody else's guard and they're collar choking me or guillotining me. I have someone in my guard and they're head and arm choking me, and I'm about to tap right now because this is legitimately like cutting the blood flow off from my brain. So I reach up and I tap. And as Maine called it, it is a very Brazilian tap. It's like a, And a lot of people were like, the fucking referee, like, nobody really would have caught that. Like, I'm not blaming that person. The only person's
also
fault
a head and
that
arm
was...
from the guard.
Right. The only person who should be blamed for any of that is me for not going, okay, and legitimately tapping and waiting that long to tap. And then I'm looking up and I'm having this, like, I'm like, man, that was a fun tournament.
Did you have the dumb dream? Please tell me.
I didn't have a dream.
I have dumb dreams. I got to put on context.
I just had, like, these thoughts, like, this has happened twice now where I thought I won.
Oh, that's terrible.
Where I'm like, oh, man, that was, it was funny that guy tried to head and arm choke me. I beat that dude, whatever. And, I'm heading to work because that's what I did afterwards. Like, literally, I got choked unconscious. That was it. They submitted the bracket rule, the bracket. I got changed right by the table side, put on my work shirt and work clothes. But I'm laughing at myself for this dumb shit that I did to myself. And these comments that are on BJJ Scout's Instagram only make it funnier.
Some of them are fucking hilarious.
Dude, you took this, by the way, the best. To have a super highlight choke out unconscious video.
Dude, I want a Valhalla Club patch.
Dude, you were laughing.
I want BJJ
so
Scout
hard.
to like.
You walked into my house today to talk about that.
It was fucking hilarious.
Can we talk about that? You were like, hell yeah. Like, you were so
One of my favorite comments that I've seen so far, because I keep going back to it to read the comments. One dude, like, kind of made me upset, was like, who's this fucking white belt masters? Like, I'm like,
it's black belt masters, sir.
Really? Like, and I was like, do you want to come to the gym and say that to me? And the guy was like, fuck, this guy actually saw it. I'm not safe on the internet. And I didn't care. It's like, I'm not like, I'm going to fight you because I'm making an ass of myself on the internet. Everybody does it eventually. At least I didn't shit my pants, and that's now enshrined on the internet. No, I just got choked unconscious. It's happened before. It'll probably happen again.
So definitely go on the BJJ Scout Instagram page.
Find the comment and please like it, because I want this guy to like get a lot of credit for it. It says DJ Khaled got choked the fuck out. Another one. Dude, that was so fucking good. I was like, this guy I love. I fucking love that guy. So whoever wrote that comment, if you're listening, I fucking love you.
I'll send you a patch.
That made me so happy. We will send you a patch.
I'll send you a grappling run patch.
Sleepy
will,
DJ Khaled.
Like,
yeah.
Please meme pictures of me either unconscious or just like pictures next to my face with those comments. Like DJ Khaled, and I'm fucking bald and I have a semi-large beard. So many people have called me Middle Eastern.
You look kind of Middle Eastern. I mean, it's kind of scraggly.
Dude, it's fucking hilarious. And when people come up with this shit, and some of the people in the comments aren't even writing in English, it's like Brazilian and French and stuff. Somebody was like, I read one that said, what is this, a white belt? But it was in Brazilian. Fortunately, I know how to say white belt in Portuguese. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I corrected myself. But like some of these comments are so fucking good. And the people with the outrage are like, oh, he could get hurt. I don't understand why you didn't let go. It's like,
Let him get hurt.
It's like, let him die. You know what I mean?
Valhalla Club, baby. Here we
That's
coming.
what it
we
is.
Coming.
Like,
we in here.
if I didn't yes, I tapped, but it was a weak fucking tap.
You know what it should be? The patch should just be a shield. It should just be you going out on your fucking shield.
BJJ Scout, please
Make that patch.
make that.
I mean,
I really hope
no. This is a shield with a guy like lying like this.
The only thing that will make this whole scenario better is if I get put in the BJJ Digest. The BJJ Scout Digest videos. If that gets put in there, amazing. I'm going to fucking die. And not of embarrassment, of fucking laughter. Because it will be in motion. And if you can go back and you can trail the video and you can see, and even the guy like clipped some of it to where it's not the whole match, and it wasn't a very long match. But like, I'm fucking around. And do dumb shit. Dumb shit happens to you. Yeah.
Like, do dumb shit, win dumb prizes.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Win stupid games.
Yeah.
Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. Yeah.
So I said it right there. Like, I had zero respect for that choke. Period. And it doesn't matter who you are. Spazzy white belt, fucking 30-year black belt, whatever. If you do something dumb and allow dumb shit to happen, there's a potential that somebody's gonna fucking grab your head and squeeze.
And Valhalla Club, baby,
and then you go the fuck to sleep. Like, the lasting effects of me being unconscious was my mouth was tingly as I was driving away.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
I get that too.
Your mouth gets tingly when you get choked
I go to sleep like
unconscious.
3 times a year because I'm stupid. Maybe like twice a year now. I'm getting more experienced. It's like, used to be like 3 times a year. Now it's like twice a year.
This happens like maybe once every 2 years. Apparently that's been the schedule of it going for me anyway. But it's just like, it's silly. And I think it's silly. And I'm okay with making fun of myself for stupid things that I do. If I do something dumb, I deserve to get like made fun of. If you're going to call me out, like Maine called me out on the viral and bacterial thing, I switched it up. In my head, I knew what I was talking about.
You literally had me convinced for like 10 seconds. I was like, that's fair, it is.
But I'll admit, A, that I'm wrong, and B, that if I embarrass myself and I led myself to that embarrassment, like, you should laugh at it. There's some parts of it where it, like, I can be serious. Like, don't downplay my coach's ability to judge what level of jiu-jitsu I have, but also realize that I'm not a fucking professional jiu-jitsu player. Like I just said, I went to work directly after this tournament. I go to work 5 days a week. I have 2 random days off, one in the middle of the week and one, or I guess you would say at the beginning of the week, whatever you consider Sunday. Like, this isn't me 24 hours a day where I'm grappling. I'd be fucking, I would have legit cried if it was something where, 1, I was going to get money for it, and 2, like, it was super, super important to me. I signed up because I could do it for fucking free, and I wanted to compete more.
Well, on the plus side, you got more sleep this week, so.
I did. I got an extra, like, 20 seconds of it. It's great.
That's awesome. John, anything else? Anything you guys got? Anything else?
No.
Look for us at ADCC. I got stickers. Emil got stickers. It's going to be a great event. I can't wait to do interviews, do the whole event. We're doing shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tune in for those. Tell your friends about the podcast.
Fucking tune in to these 2 motherfuckers talking all this stuff, Maine backstage. If you don't like the backstage content that goes on social media, blame Maine. Don't blame Emil.
That's reasonable.
He's only in the crowd.
That's reasonable.
Please go and talk to both of them. They will talk extensively about stats and matches and all of us being a bunch of fucking idiots that love this show and love jiu-jitsu. We will talk jiu-jitsu with you continuously whenever you fucking meet us. I love it. We can talk dumb stuff, shitting your pants, getting choked unconscious, doing drugs, whatever. We will talk to you about it. Why? Because we love doing this. And that's the only reason why we're doing it. Because
we're at 98 episodes.
Fun.
98.
October, by the way. Get prepared for like a bunch of shit. I'm going to force Maine to release some stuff that he's been editing out for almost 2 years or whatever amount of time it's been.
About 2 years.
You know, we've had a great time. We've made great connections through this stuff.
And we're going nowhere. We're going to be here till everyone stops listening.
That's what it's really all about.
Yeah.
Just you hating us so much that you stop listening, and here we are every week. So Fight to Win 375, and everybody's like, we don't fucking care. We downloaded that to our brain already.
Like, we're gonna break it down regardless. So
Yes.
as always on the show, I'm your host, Maine, joined with my co-hosts,
Emil.
And occasionally Josh.
and we are the Grappling Rewind, and we'll see you on the mat. If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Google Plus.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
Let us know.
reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.